feels relaxing too.
Yeah, I feel like it's relaxing.
And then, like, to me, I feel like you're losing more calories.
You do.
Because you're already sweating as it is. And then you go in there and you sweat even more.
That's what they told me, that after you work out and you get in the sauna, you're burning more calories because you're in there.
Do you get in the vapor sauna or the
I
hot?
did them both. 30 minutes.
I can't
tried
stand
30
the
minutes.
vapor one.
I could stand that one more than the sauna.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why.
Everybody.
I don't like when people are trying to put those little liquids in there. Like,
Oh, what do they do? Like, oh, they put some
Listerine or something. Like the other day, this lady, she tried to go in there and put a, like I was in there by myself. She tried to go in there and put a little, I don't know what she poured on there. And she just walked out. Didn't even come back, nothing. I see
Did
her.
she work there?
Nah, she was just a regular person like me.
What?
And then I seen her going to the sauna. No. Yeah, the sauna, because I was in the steam. And I was like, hold on. I was like, excuse me, what did you just pour in the steam room? She's like, oh, Listerine, because it smells in there. I'm like,
How does she know if that's not going to break it?
I was like, you know, there's a sign up there and says you're not supposed to do that, right? And she's like, oh. She said, oh. And I just said, just let it go. But I didn't go back in there because
Scary.
why are you putting something in there and you're not going to stay in there? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
What's happening? Yeah.
What was the point of that?
Yeah, like I understand if you're in there and then you stay in there with me. Shoot, breathe what you're putting in there, girl.
Right.
Let's see if you like it.
Oh, you take a drink first.
Yeah, you take a drink first, girl. Why are you trying to give me that drink?
That's scary.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yes,
Like,
that's weird.
girl, I don't know what's in your psychotic mind, you know what I mean? I be watching those shows too much, party.
Well, like my boyfriend's grandma the other day, she went with us somewhere, and I left the baby's bottle in the back seat, and she's like, "Yeah, I put the bottle in the trunk because you never know, somebody could come in here and steal her bottle and put some poison, or you never know."
There's some weirdos.
Yeah.
Girl, there's some weirdos. I be watching those scary stories on YouTube. That's why I don't put up that past what you just said, not past me.
I believe that.
There's some weirdos out there, dude. Like, why would you do that?
Like my
I
neighbor.
watch this YouTuber. He like you could send him all the weird stuff that has ever happened to you, and he'll read them out loud.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I be hearing the most
weirdest
way out
stories.
stuff. Like, man, people got problems out there. Like,
I believe it.
yeah, me too. I believe it. I'll just be like, wow. Like, there's some. I know a lot of stories, but I can't tell you right now because they're like in the tip of my tongue. But I forgot. But I
know what you
some,
mean.
Yeah, some way out stuff. I'm just like, gotta watch out for some people.
Yeah. And your own neighbors.
Yeah, man.
My neighbors, because I live in an apartment complex. The neighbor across from me, because we go outside on the balcony and to smoke or whatever. And the guy, when we first moved in, we've only been living there for 2 years. When we first moved in, they had curtains on their wall, right?
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that our apartment was probably with nobody living there for a couple years, so they were used to not having no neighbors there. The minute we're there for a day, they put like white paper all over their windows. Like before, they had curtains. Like not that I'm being nosy, but like obviously.
Yeah, you pass
like,
by there.
I'm gonna notice. They had curtains before, and you can't see through the house or nothing because there's curtains. But all of a sudden, they just over all of their windows, they have white paper. And then one day, like one time when we first moved in there, I was like on the balcony talking to my mom, and I had went to the welfare that day, and like the lady was being a bitch to me, so I was telling my mom, sorry for my language, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
But I was telling my mom, like, you know, like this lady, she was doing this, she was doing that, and I looked down because it's like my backyard's right here and his backyard, and you know I'm on the balcony, so I can see down into his backyard really good. He's just there staring at me, like looking up at me.
See, that's the kind of stories I be hearing.
He's just looking at me, staring at me, and how I know is because he has to like this. He's looking up at me like that because I'm on the balcony. Another time, same guy. We're outside after the baby goes to sleep. It's like 11 o'clock at night. Me and my boyfriend are outside on the balcony, and there's a field. There's a field right behind our house. So there's nobody there. We always get a lot of traffic. And there's like a field, and then there's a highway. And he's in the middle of the field just standing there at 11 o'clock in the morning, at night looking at it. And I didn't know.
11 o'clock in the
Yeah,
morning?
it was like, no, I mean at night. It was like 11:15.
Oh, no, that's not
And I told my boyfriend, I go, babe, is there someone right there? Because I couldn't even see. And like as soon as my boyfriend turned around to see, because it was behind him, the guy started moving. And I think it was my neighbor, because my neighbor wears, he was,
So you guys just seen a shadowy figure.
yeah, but the thing is, he was behind his backyard, and he was wearing a cap, like the same hat that he wears, because he always wears a baseball hat. I don't know, that guy just creeps me out.
He must have problems.
And then like, cause like I said, there's a field right behind our house, and behind our house there's a tree, but like I said, it's in the field. Why does he go out there and start cutting like the tree right there behind our house for no reason? It's part of the field.
Oh, because he wants to look in.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of weird.
Weird.
Another
You
time,
guys better lock your doors.
we do.
Oh, man.
We're strict like that. Another time, their dogs. We have like
Cause you
6 dogs.
guys live like away from.
Cause like how the country's right, or the
countryside,
field,
yeah.
It's right here. It's right there by Oil Down.
Yeah.
And they have like 6 dogs.
You guys
in
have
their
your own
backyard.
lot. You guys have
Yeah.
your own big old lot. Yeah. Yeah, I want to be careful.
One time, their dogs got into our backyard, and we have 2 pit bulls, and they have like little chihuahuas.
Yeah.
And they got into our backyard, and my boyfriend and his little brother, they went to the backyard to get them, and they had to pick them up, bring them to our house, and then go to the apartments. And when they knocked on the door when they knocked on the door to give the dogs back, the lady just looked at them and took the dogs. Like, she didn't say thank you. She didn't say nothing.
Why are they weird like that?
I don't know. And
Like
they're white people.
antisocial. They're white people.
Yeah. Like, you would think, like, not like that, but you would think if they're Mexican, it's because they don't know how to speak English or something.
Yeah, yeah.
So they keep to themselves. But they're white people, because, like, that's why I thought, oh, maybe she doesn't know English. Like, because when they went to go give the dog back.
Yeah.
And I thought, maybe they didn't know English. Maybe that's why she didn't say
They don't
nothing.
wanna talk,
And
yeah.
he said, no, babe, I've heard her talk before. She talks like a straight up white girl. Like, she's white. I was like, well, that's weird why she just wouldn't say anything.
Hey, they're
Like, they
weird,
brought you your
man.
dog and she don't say thank you or nothing.
They're weird.
Yeah, I don't like my neighbors.
And like they're a couple or something?
Yeah,
Oh
it's a
man, they're
couple.
made for each other.
He's always in his backyard. He'll be in his backyard with a little flashlight at like 12 o'clock in the morning.
Oh no.
And then when he was cutting the tree,
That's the type of neighbors I have, like 10 locks on my door.
when he was cutting the tree, this was like last week. My boyfriend went out there and he was like, excuse me. He was like, what are you doing? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I just got laid off and I get bored and I just wanted to cut this tree.
The one that's covering.
Our backyard, because we have a bunch of recycling in our backyard.
Yeah.
So we like the tree covered because a lot of homeless people walk by, and we
Yeah.
caught them looking in our stuff. And our dogs aren't outside; they're inside dogs. Like, they're pit bulls, but they're inside. So we like the tree to cover it so they can't see our recycling right there.
This is scary story
Yeah.
right here, man.
And he just started doing that, and we're just like, we don't know why he's doing it. And then he left.
Hey,
a
but
little tiny bit.
is the tree on you guys' land?
It was on our. It was not our land because there's a field right there, but it's behind our backyard. Like, say here's our backyard, and we have a chain link fence so you can see through. The tree is right there behind our house.
That sucks.
And then
You guys
his
can't
house
really say
is over
anything,
there,
huh?
because it's not ours.
But it's not his either, though.
No, it's not. And the thing is though, is that he didn't cut the whole tree. He left just a tiny bit. And see, now I'm paranoid.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I would be
sometimes-
paranoid if that was my neighbor too.
Sometimes, like, check this out. Sometimes we go out there and we're smoking whatever, and I hear, because the tree's right there by our backyard,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of dry leaves, and I hear walking. But my boyfriend swears it's a cat. But I tell him, how can a cat be so loud? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like at least from here. It's like further from here to the bathroom away, the tree. And
Yeah.
I can hear
Like footsteps.
Yeah, breaking of the leaves at like 11:30 at night. And then, but a couple times.
Some people are weird like that, man.
But a couple times we did let our dogs out, like, to see, and the cat did run away. But like, I don't know, I can't help but just wonder sometimes, like, if somebody's right there. Because I caught him.
You know, sometimes when you feel somebody staring at you, it's because somebody is staring at you.
I believe that.
Yeah,
See, like,
I
I'm
believe
shaking
that
just talking about it.
Yeah, you guys just need to get more lost on your
I
door.
know. I want to move because like that place wasn't even.
But you guys own that lot, huh?
No, it's just an apartment. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But we have our own backyard.
Oh, yeah.
Like the way the apartments are set up, our apartments are at the very end. So we're the only apartment that has our own backyard.
I don't like my apartment either. My apartments are all the way in the back. I don't feel safe in the hallway in the back.
Oh, another time. Check this out. When we first moved in there, we lived there for 2 weeks. And we know that across from us that there's a couple that fights a lot. Like I don't know if he abuses her or what. We just hear them fighting a lot. And we were living there for 2 weeks, and I'm in the restroom downstairs. And in the back, there's a fence, so nobody can get in unless, like, you live there, you have to unlock the gate. But we didn't lock it. And my boyfriend had just left, like, 5 minutes, and I was using the restroom. I thought he had came, he had left for 5 minutes, and I thought to myself, like, oh, maybe he came back, he forgot his wallet or something. He came back, so I thought it was him, right? So I go, oh, just come in, because somebody was banging on our back door, and I said, come in, and whoever it was didn't come in, so I just thought nothing of it. And then a couple minutes go by, my boyfriend comes in, he goes, babe, there's a lady right there bleeding, and there's all kinds of cops, and they're arresting, like, what it looks to be her boyfriend. So I'm guessing that she must be getting into it with her boyfriend, and she opened my backyard, went into my backyard, went to my back door, and was banging on the door for me to let her in. Yeah, and that's kind of scary because I said, come in, I said, come in, because I thought it was my boyfriend.
Yeah.
But she must have known, like, I can't just walk in,
Yeah.
And if that would have happened, if I would have let her in and locked the door. My boyfriend said that he was like, hey, they're arresting some guy, and there's a lady right there all bloody on the face. Like, he said he thinks it's a couple, because when we had barely moved in, and we would always hear, like, one time I seen this lady, they were on their balcony, and she was like, no, stop it, stop, don't touch her. And she was like pushing someone. It was like somebody was trying to push somebody off of a balcony, and then it was like maybe their mother or their aunt or their sister got into it and was like, no, like, and was trying to break them up, but then it went back into the house, so I couldn't see it. So that was like scary because we had just moved in there, and I was like, oh, come in, like, my dumb ass.
But whatever happened, did you ever hear what happened to that lady?
We still see that. I've never seen the lady that my boyfriend tells me about, but there's this lady who.
No, I'm talking about the one that was bloody.
No, I never seen her
again.
No, I never seen her again.
And the guy either?
That's the thing, because we had just moved in there, so we don't even know if that's the neighbor,
Oh.
And all I know is that they would fight a lot, and then this guy with the same car, he left, and then he would come back, and then it would be all calm, and then you would hear yelling outside, and then he would move and come back. But he hasn't been there for a while, and I think the
maybe
girl,
he's in prison.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that girl that was all bloody, I think she still lives there. I know, it's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's what happens when you live in an apartment complex.
I know, man. I live in a. I never see my neighbors, so I think that's weird. That's freaky.
I think it is too. I stay inside because.
And I always see different people on the bottom of my apartment. Different people. Like, I don't know who lives in the bottom. It's a new apartment though. I've been here for 2 months. But then, like, I should see somebody. Like,
my mom, because I'm originally from Tulare, and my mom, she's been living in the same apartment complex since I was 13, and I'm 25, so my mom's been living there for like over 10 years. There's been so many things that happens in that apartment complex,
like
in
how?
that neighborhood.
Tell me the scariest one for Halloween.
Okay, well, let's see. One time when, because it's an apartment complex and there's a gate right there. One time I was on the phone with somebody, and it was in the middle of the night, like 1 o'clock in the morning. I was 15 years old. I was on the phone with somebody, and I seen a shadow come to my. And I'm not lying here. I mean, how can I make this up?
Yeah.
A shadow comes up to my window and was just looking in, like you can see the person like trying to look inside my window, but I never found out who it was.
Probably a predator, dude.
Who knows? I'm thinking it was somebody from across the street, and then because it's kind of like in the ghetto and stuff, so there's always drive-bys. And one time there was a party going on, and I was in my living room, and all I hear is all kinds of people running, and then you can hear the gunshots like going like right outside the door, like as if someone was shooting right there outside my door.
Oh shoot!
And then the next day, we wake up.
What side of town is this on?
Well, this is in Tulare.
Tulare.
Yeah, because that's where I'm from, but I've been living in Bakersfield since I was 15.
So Tulare is more crazy than Bakersfield?
Well, it's a small town. There's only like 16,000 people there, and where I live is the street that I used to live on. It was they call it the 300 G block because it's 300 G Street, and they call it G block. And
why G block? That's the G letter?
Yeah, because the street itself is just G Street.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and gangsters, they just call it like G block.
Oh, I see.
And I remember there's just always been drive-bys, and I don't think I was home. This is another drive-by, but there would be like leads that kicked it across the street. And then if you look straight from the house, like say if you're sitting in the house across the street from me, and you're sitting in their front yard, you can see all the way through my apartments, all the way through towards the alley. I guess somebody went towards the alley and they started like shooting at the house, also like all the way from my alley to the next yard. And the next day I woke up and there was gunshots like right on the other side of my bed, because the people because the people from across the street were shooting back at the people in the alley. Like somebody had came through the alley and they were shooting at people across the street from me. And when the people from across the street from me started shooting back, they hit the brick wall outside of the thing, and you could see all kinds of like bullet holes right there on the outside. And that's where my bed would have been, but I don't think I was home that day. I don't, because I would have heard it.
You could have died.
Yeah. There's been times where I was like, well, just one time, not like there's been times, but one time I was with my homegirl and we were sitting down and I was sitting by my window and you could see somebody was right there shooting, and you could see the actual gunfire, like the fire from the gun.
Yeah.
Just right there. My homegirl jumped. I mean, I'm kind of like was used to it at the time.
Yeah.
But my homegirl, she like jumped under and like dove underneath the bed, and I was like, scary. That's why my mom still lives there, but everything's calmed down now because the people moved from across the street.
Oh.
So that was the reason why there was so much.
Because of the people across the street. They probably went to prison.
No, I think they just moved because
they.
We're actually really good friends with the people across the street.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
They were bloods.
Oh.
And, like, but I've known them since I was like 10, because I used to hang out with their little cousins. So to me, they're like family, but you know.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, like my dad had passed away, and when my dad passed away, they came with their grandma, their aunt, their grandson, all their kids, and they came to my door with a big old line of food. Already made barbecue, chicken, salad, like, you know, just because some people live that type of life, yeah, doesn't mean that they're all bad.
Oh,
you know?
I see.
People just have to survive out there.
Yeah.
But I think he moved because my mom told me, I always asked my mom, you know, like, how's it going and stuff, and she told me that it's been really calmed down the last couple of years ever since D moved, the guy that lives across the street, who was causing all the drama, you know?
Yeah.
I think he moved, like, he got a girlfriend or something.
Oh, I see.
But it's dangerous out there.
That's the first time I heard of that.
Yeah.
That does sound dangerous.
Yeah, it is. When I remember the first time I walked in there.
Because you could have got shot.
Yeah. Within the first month, there was like 3 drive-bys.
Wow.
But I'm glad it's calmed down for my mom.
Yeah, that's true. But you wouldn't duck when you were here?
I didn't. Like the first few times, yeah, but then after a while, you just kind of get used to it, you know? Because my mom and dad, they would always tell me, get down on the floor, get down. Like, you know, like you see us crawling and stuff, like the first 5 times, but then after a while, I lived there for over 10 years.
Oh, okay. You're like, they're not gonna, those bullets are not gonna.
Yeah, they're not for us. It's scary. Another time, I went to the same street, I went to a birthday party. It was a sleepover, and I was in the 8th grade at the time. And my homegirl wanted me to spend the night. But my dad was like, no, you live across the street. Like, she lived across the street. You don't have to spend the night. You can see her in the morning. And I was like, okay. So I go in, and that same night, around 11 o'clock at night, they shot that same house up.
What?
And I would have been in there. And one of the people that got shot, he was only, I said I was in the 8th grade. I was in the 6th grade because the guy was in the 8th grade. And he was only in the 8th grade, and he got shot in the head and shot in the leg. And they amputated his leg, but he survived. Like they had to.
So he survived the headshot and everything.
Because it kind of like grazed him, you know, like the bullet. It, like if you were to cut his hair off,
was it
you could
towards
see it.
him, or was it just he was just an innocent bystander?
His whole family are.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
You know, like he's in it too, and then his brothers. So it's kind of like towards just the house in general.
The whole everybody in there.
And my dad, he already knew like the kind of people that lived at the house. That's why he didn't want me spending the night.
Yeah,
and he was like, you live across the street. He was like, you could just go there in the morning. And then that guy, he ended up losing his leg. And he was
8th grader.
Yeah, he was either in the 7th or 8th grade.
Dang, that sucks.
One of my brothers. Yeah, he was my brother's best friend. Sad.
Do you guys still hear about him now?
Him, I just know that he has kids now. My brother still talks to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's doing good. He has like a fake leg and stuff.
Oh,
So
okay.
you can't even tell. Like if you knew him, you wouldn't even tell because he wears pants and stuff. He's a cool guy. I think he learned his lesson.
That does suck because 8th grade, lose your leg. You have a lot of energy at 8th grade.
Yeah, I believe it. And then like you find out who your true friends are.
Like why?
Because like when that happened, my dad told my brother, he was like, like you need to go visit him. Like he's gonna be in the hospital. You need to go talk to him. No matter how boring it gets, just go chat with him. And he said that my brother, he don't bang or nothing, but out of all of his friends that banged, like the guy that got shot, none of them visited him. None of them went to go visit him in the hospital or send money. But my brother, the one who doesn't bang, was the one who was there every day with him, talking with him.
How long was he in?
I think he was in the hospital for like a good 6 months because he had to go through therapy.
That's nice.
To like
of your
learn.
brothers.
Yeah, they're still friends.
You do find out who your friends are.
Mm-hmm.
When stuff hits the fan.
Yeah, you do.
Let me see if I leave it for you because that red is so hard to get off.
But like I never seen you might think something about Tulare, but I've never seen people like how I do in Bakersfield. Like when you look, like you see those crackers in the corner and they're like talking to themselves.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
No?
Never. Like when I came to Bakersfield and I seen that,
You were just like,
I was just like, what
kind
the
of
heck?
time?
Like I thought that I've seen some stuff,
Yeah.
but now I'm kind of like used to it.
Yeah, because even in LA, I never see that a lot.
See, until LA is more bigger.
Yeah. I just don't know why it's like that here.
Me neither. Like the drugs must be bad.
The drugs must be really high here. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, because I see some people. I'm like, what the heck?
Like, what are you
What could
on,
possibly
dude?
make you act that way?
Yeah. Like the other day, this guy was standing in the subway and he really looked like he was fighting with somebody, but there was
by
nobody there.
himself. Yeah, I see that all the time.
Yeah, I see that all the time. That's not the first time either. I'm just like,
Just pray for them.
yo,
I didn't know drugs could do that to somebody.
yeah,
I like this color because it's like a blood red.
yeah, it is. Like a blender.
Did you go to school for this, huh?
Yeah. What made you want to get to Larry?
Just because my boyfriend lived out here.
Okay.
We met on the party line when I was. It's funny. It's actually a funny story because we met on the party line, but we're really young and we're not supposed to be on there. And he lied to me. He told me he was 21 or 22. I lied to him. Told him I was 19. And we talked.
Yeah.
We talked for like 2 weeks on the phone with like seeing pictures on Facebook.
Yeah.
And then I really liked him and I told him, I really need to tell you something. Like, I don't like if you want to stop talking to me, it's okay. And he was like, what? And I was like, I'm really 15. And he thought I was 19.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm really 15. I'm not 19. And he goes, are you lying? And I go, no. And he goes, are you for real? I go, yeah. He goes, wow, I'm really 14. And I was
you
like,
guys are the same age.
and I thought, I was like, really? I was like, you're lying. And he was like, no, really. And then I was like, okay. So a few months go by, we're talking on the phone, and he's like, I want to come to Tulare and meet you, like in real life. And I was like, okay. He came, and our very first day, we went to the movies, and because I used to run away a lot and party and stuff. So my mom and dad thought, oh no, she's running away again. She's, so they called the cops on me. So like, make sure I couldn't get far. And the cops came to the movie theaters and they seen him with me because they've seen a picture of me, so they knew who to look for.
Yeah.
And they found him, and he looks really like, since he was like 12, he's had a mustache and goatee. And till this age, like if you see him, he looks like he's like 30 years old, but he's actually 24. Like he looks really older. And the cop was like, "What are you doing with her? How old are you? Let me see your ID." And he's all like, "I'm actually younger than her, officer." And he was like, "No, I don't believe you. You look really old." So
You look really old.
He pulls out his middle school ID because it has like the school year and all that.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Look," he's like, "See, like right there." And he's like, "Wow, that was our first date." Getting the cops call on us.
Dang, that's crazy. That's a cute story
Yeah.
though.
I love that story,
That is. I like it.
especially
too.
how we lied to each other about our
I
ages.
know.
And then that's why I moved to Bakersfield, because he would go to Tulare and
Hey, you guys, we're gonna have to cut this even though you guys are enjoying this. See you guys later.